scientific knowledge. Striving for a rationalist worldview, they seek a la carte approach to the fundamentals of Islam, jettisoning Islamic legal and customary norms. Worse, they seek to update Islam in the light of scientific knowledge and technological process. Alawi is skeptical about a fusion of Islam with Western ideals. For him, modern human rights are divorced from their ethical or religious roots. Their supposed universality is given concrete reality by laws and institutions, none of which has any overarching ethical framework. The Western idea of human rights are founded in a belief in individual human agency. In contrast, an Islamic interpretation attaches them to a nexus of obligations, responsibilities, and duties to others, and above all to God. So the revival of the spirit of Islam must be centered on restoring the notion of the sacred in its spiritual and intellectual dimensions. So I'm then just going to conclude now with the issue of clash of civilization. We don't actually have time to go through what the nature, I'm not quite sure what a new civilization should look like. All right, clash of civilization. Is the clash of civilizations inevitable? Now we know that, of course, there are so many differences among civilizations, and Alawi says that these differences are too basic. They are differentiated from each other by history, language, culture, tradition, and most important, religion. And these fundamental differences are the product of centuries, so they will not soon disappear. So the idea of one civilization for the world is not a reality, it's not going to happen. Then it says, we're talking about Samuel Huntington. Okay, he's the one who proposed that you will have a clash of civilizations, and he predicted that there will be a alliance between the Chinese and the Muslims, and they're going to clash with the rest of the world. And of course, most scholars have totally condemned him, including Chomsky, Edward Said, and so on. And what has also happened in recent years, that is an alternate development, and that is called the Dialogue Among Civilizations, which was, and also the Alliance of Civilizations, which was an initiative proposed at the 59th General Assembly of the United Nations by the President of the Spanish government, and it was co-sponsored by the Turkish Prime Minister Erdogan. So I'm going to stop here with my presentation. Fortunately, this is a what you call keynote address, so there is no time for questions and answers. So I will take my seat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Dengo, for that very enlightening discussion. I think it is really intellectually stimulating, and it recalls, you really spend a lot of time into looking at what civilization actually means, and I think lots of food for thought on that. I think we've come to the closure of this particular session, but before we do that, we'd like to do a presentation. Professor Khalid Iran would, on behalf of IRSICA, to Professor McCracken of the University of KwaZulu-Natal. If you can please.
Gentlemen, looking this way. ayah from the Quran, verse 13 of Surah Hujurat, وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ, which means that we have created you as a different tribes and nations to know each other. The best of you is the one who is the closest to, or who fears Allah or God. And those are the proceedings of the symposium.
We also have a small gift for International Peace College of South Africa. Also for University of KwaZulu-Natal. And this is going to be handed over by Brother Raghib Najjar, who's also been Executive CEO of Awqaf South Africa. This is a hand-woven basket that was produced here in KwaZulu-Natal by a group of women. Thank you very much. We will now adjourn for a break. Shukran. Assalamu alaikum. And we come back. 15-minute break. Okay. Thank you.